Hey everyone, welcome to Neil Talks. My name's Neil, and it's time to talk more person of interest. And I'm loving where this show is going already, guys. I know we're only halfway through season one, and it's not really supposed to get going until next season sometime. But I feel like we've already taken a step beyond your standard network procedural here. And it's not just a great premise and great casting and all of that. I like the ambiguity of it, which isn't what network primetime television is usually pushing. But there's moral ambiguity and legal ambiguity, and the good guys are the bad guys, and the bad guys are the good guys, and there's just so much that isn't clear cut. Yes, Finch and Reese are doing good things, but they're using technology which is incredibly questionable. Yes, they're using it for good ends, but how long can that be maintained? What if it becomes a personal thing? What if there's a vendetta? Finch can get into the black box of the machine. He can find out how the machine's working. So we're relying on his morality to keep the machine being used for strictly benevolent purposes. What if he gets a personal vendetta against someone and he points the machine in their direction? What could the machine point out? What could it do? Could he end up using, for that matter, Reese doesn't know how the machine goes. What if Finch has a personal vendetta against someone and just gives that person's social insurance number to Reese to follow, to track, to potentially kill? Because we have seen Reese is willing to kill, and certainly capable of it. I don't know. The potential for this premise is massive and complex and concerning, and I love that setup. We've started so many story threads, and you don't know necessarily which ones are going to return. It's a great show for guest star. It's a great guest star vehicle. So we've already had some really interesting, well-known faces appear just for a single episode here and there, and that's intriguing because you never know whether those familiar faces may be coming back down the road. Yeah, I'm super curious to see where it goes next. I'm really eager to jump into this episode. So let's do that. This is episode 12 of season 1, and it's called Legacy. Carter being followed still by the CIA? Who's she going to meet here? Actually thought it was Reese for a moment.
Coffee's getting cold, Detective.
I looked for her. I'm sorry I got your shot card, but they were all out. I'm a cop, which means I got rules. Rules that can't be broken.
You're
But
breaking them.
I want to know more. How does this work?
Social insurance number. Presumably. Oh, no, they've
Andrea
only-
Gutierrez?
You have your rules. And you have the chance to save a life.
She can never know about the machine.
I doubt it. She'd believe it if I told her. What else did you find out about her lawyer?
Andrea Gutierrez, born and raised in Queens, got her GED after dropping out of high school.
She's a scrapper. Ambitious. Just trying to make a better life for herself.
She owes $50,000 in student loans
Well, that's nothing these days.
and another 20 on her credit cards.
That's a lot of debt.
Apparently, she's trying to carve out a niche for herself by suing the state on behalf of inmates and ex-cons with grievances from their stay behind bars.
How's that working out for her?
She's 0 for 6. I imagine she hopes her current case will be lucky number 7.
Same trick as Julia Roberts and Pretty Woman. Different character, though.
Objection.
Well, I know he's not.
Kaluska, I told you those drugs weren't mine. I mean, you're testing me, man. Why don't you believe me?
Those drugs were in your place. That makes them yours. You should have been more careful.
Okay, he's dirty. Dirty parole officer.
Pastrami from Zabar's? You must need something big.
Terrence King's blood test.
Did you put in a request?
Weeks ago, but...
I'll look into it, Andy.
Thank you.
You better go. Boss lady's coming.
Teenage troublemaker, being in her sophomore year, and a string of larceny charges.
Hold on, Carter.
I'm telling you, she's talking to someone and keeping it on the down low. Working something on her own.
I'll keep that in mind.
This
Still
seems
with me, Carter?
unnecessary.
This could get really complicated.
They're assets. The less they know about each other, the safer they'll be. Someone's tailing our girl.
Someone other than you?
Wearing headphones. Number one no-no, apparently. Guy knows how to fight.
Mr. Reed?
Assailants into anabolic steroids.
Where's Miss Gutierrez?
She's safe for now. I don't know for how much longer.
Okay, I don't know what to make of all this yet.
Any guesses about who'd want to kill our attorney?
See if the assailant is one of her clients. Narrow down our suspects.
I'll be there as soon as I can. I'll be back soon.
Yeah, the more I watch this, the more I wonder how long Finch and Reese are going to just be completely trusting of one another and always on the same team. Who's this guy? His son? Something like that? They know each other. Yeah. Dad?
I suppose you could use some rest before I lecture you on the perils of underground gambling. Happy you're home, Will.
Sorry you had to bail me out again.
Well, it's good to have you back either way.
Huh.
Looking to track down the gym where he juices up.
Are you having second thoughts?
It's just a lot of prying eyes around this place.
You're getting paranoid, Carter.
That's a step in the right direction.
Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you.
What type of work do you do?
It's, complicated.
Oh.
Sorry.
I'll be right back.
What's that?
Nicely done, Mr. Reese. I have a signal now.
Oh, okay. It's a mic. / tracker.
Tell me, why do you want to sue your boss?
I slipped and hurt my back.
Did that happen on the job?
Just last night, actually.
So what's this boss of yours like?
Very manipulative. Secretive. We had some personality conflicts. He's one of those rich loner types. Kind you'd call strange if he didn't have so much cash. So instead he's eccentric.
Then I can start immediately. Chris did me a big favor by picking him up from the foster family's place.
When are you coming home, Daddy? I don't like my room.
I'm just gonna get me out of here sooner than you know it, all right?
We're seeing this Chris guy a couple of times.
So did you get the blood test?
Chris is working on it, but even if we get it,
All right. They still found them drugs in my house.
everyone deserves a second chance.
Finch, I see him.
The scalp tattoos, man. Yeah.
Hey, remember me?
This guy's really an MMA fighter. He'd have taken him to the ground way sooner. But okay. Oh! Kerplowy.
Are you okay?
I just killed the
But
guy.
I can't say the same about the other guy. So much for not dropping any bodies.
Okay, yeah, he's like ridiculously callous sometimes.
3 years at 5 points for second-degree manslaughter, but Andrea wasn't his representative.
It's okay for him to die, then.
Terrence King. They share a parole officer named Dominic Galuska.
Yeah, saw him at the courthouse.
Yeah.
You promised me no one would get dead. And what happens?
On my defense, Mr. Garcia didn't look both ways before crossing the street. Garcia had just under, 10 grand on him? I guess it's a payoff for a hit.
Who'd want to kill her?
Let him get my cut. I bet I could find a dozen parole violations, throw you back inside.
Dirty parole officer.
Don't you cheap out on me, Lou.
Hey, Dominic, where's my money? I'm Dominic Galuska, and I may be a danger to myself and others.
All right. Take no prisoners.
How's the insurance business going?
Boring as ever, thank you. Have you had a chance to go through everything?
Turns out Dad was a bit of a pack rat.
Oh.
Looks like half of it's mine.
Have you thought
Okay.
about finishing your residency?
No.
Is this his
Got
partner's
plenty of
son?
action around the world with
Goodwin's son?
MSF, Red Cross, and the disease after the fact.
Yeah.
Never the underlying cause. I want to really help people. I won't.
Several of his parolees that got sent back inside complained about him setting them up.
What does he get out of it?
I'm gonna find that out. In the meantime,
Maybe they
can you
just
try
don't
not to break any more laws?
Play along with the shakedown.
It's not Carter I'm concerned about right now. It's someone else.
All right, what's his job?
Total jackass.
He keeps searching my apartment, and then there's nothing to find, but he keeps coming back.
If he shows up again, call me. I'll be there any time of the day or night.
How's that site working out for you?
Let me stop you there, Don. I don't date my clients or ex-cons. And I like my guys not quite so better looking than me.
Galuska walked.
No, you did great, Carter. While you two were having a chat, I got into his apartment. Borrowed his computer.
You said you couldn't do anything illegal.
You didn't say anything about me.
He's just rubbing her face in it.
Each deposit coincides with when he sent one of his parolees back to prison. He's getting kickbacks from somewhere or someone. There's another one in the same amount just last night. That means
He hired someone else to finish the job.
John!
I don't need your services anymore, Andrea. But I think you're gonna need mine.
You're fired. Still don't know what Galuska's up to exactly.
You kicked the hornet's nest with Terrence's case. Galuska may have planted those drugs in his home.
That means Terrence is actually innocent.
You weren't sure?
I wanted to be.
Still don't understand where the money is in sending parolees back to prison. I mean, I get that prisons are corporate in the States, but it can't be worth that much each individual convict.
All the parolees he's busted.
This is Finch's diner.
parents.
Which means their kids end up in foster care.
Each child is worth about $800 a month. Galuska's gotta be working with someone at DFS.
There's money in putting kids into foster care? I mean, I know foster parents get a stipend.
I just have a few questions, Mr. and Mrs. Kinsey. I see here you have 6 foster children under your care. Is that still correct?
It is, yes.
And Jacob King is one of those kids.
This is about Jacob?
Looks to me like you live in a 1-bedroom apartment. Not much space for 6 kids and 2 adults.
What's going on? We're getting into child trafficking here or something?
Jacob's the only child living with us right now. The others don't exist.
They're defrauding the system.
Enough, Paul. You shut your mouth.
Is Galuska her brother or something?
You had to have a contact at DFS, and you are going to tell me who that person is.
We want a lawyer.
You are interrupting me in the middle of an interrogation.
sounded like the end of an interrogation to me. They asked for their lawyer. Signatures on all 6 belong to one woman, Gloria Copeland.
Yeah, but that's not enough evidence to arrest her.
Here, I was planning to move at a sloth-like pace and get myself captured.
Oh, so it scans while it shreds. That's awesome.
The Kinseys must have contacted Gloria Copeland. She's begun shredding the documents. I'm getting the scans now. This scan must be worth upwards of $250,000 a month.
We got a problem then, Finch. She isn't the one shredding the documents. Galuska's got a different contact at DFS.
It's what's his name? The guy who likes his sandwiches.
Andrea, what are you doing here?
Terrence is being transferred to Attica in the morning.
Yep. He's the bad guy.
You know the shame of it, Angie? Turns out you're actually a pretty good lawyer.
Really bad idea killing somebody in your own office. Okay, at least he's smart enough to, like, take her to a different location before killing her, buying her a little time.
Who are you to take away their chance at being a family?
I admire that bleeding heart of yours.
I'd rather it bleed than stop beating altogether. He's getting away!
No, he's not.
NYPD, turn around. Drop your weapon.
She's going to end up with so many callers because of this connection.
Is it really worth risking your life for people you don't know?
You're not the only one who believes in second chances.
I feel like we might be seeing her again.
Going through his things, I realized how little I really knew him.
I think most fathers are a mystery to their sons.
Did you know that he shut down IFT for nearly 7 years? Why would he do that? And look, whatever it was that he was working on, he sold it to the government for $1. So that means it was either something worthless or priceless.
So
did he ever
is
talk
he really
to you about
the
it?
uncle?
I mean, you were his closest friend.
Okay.
No, he never did.
Or were they brothers? What's in those?
Where have you been, Finch?
I won't be back in the office today. Maybe you should take the rest of the day off as well.
You want to talk about it?
Not particularly. I hope you understand that there are certain things that I can't tell you.
Oh, I understand completely, Finch.
This job ending anytime soon?
As soon as I get some answers.
Is he following Finch? Yeah. How does Finch not know Fusco is right on his tail? I'm really impressed with the mystery of this episode. I was truly confused and guessing almost right up to the end before the story became exposed. And that's hard. I've consumed a lot of mysteries in my day. You can see a lot of the setups coming, and I've talked about the limitations of trying to tell a mystery type story in the 42 minutes of a network procedural. You don't have a ton of suspects. You don't have a ton of time to mislead and misdirect and set up red herrings and all that. And so the fact that I couldn't figure out what the profit was in sending released convicts back to prison, the fabrication of the mysterious children. Very, very interesting. But if this thing's worth $250,000 a month at $800 a pop, that means we're looking at 3,000 children in the system. And if there's only 1 out of 5 or 6 who are real kids, that means 2,500 fabricated kids in the family services system. There's a lot of families, foster parents, in on this scam. It's frankly amazing that none of it's come out until now. But let's not analyze the repercussions of this particular story too much. It was a fun one. Every time we introduce a character like this lawyer, Gutierrez, I wonder whether we're going to see them again. We have allies out there. We have a judge, a doctor, a lawyer, etc. in our corner that we may call on in the future. Most of them we're probably never going to see again. But I can see if I were the showrunners, and if the fans respond particularly well to a particular guest star, then maybe you start wondering about, do we bring them back? You know what I mean? So, who knows? Maybe we see Ms. Gutierrez again. More and more people are learning about Finch and Reese and what they're doing, and they may not know many details, but they know that they're out looking out for the good guys out there, preventing crimes. And it's tough to keep this kind of activity off everybody's radar, and I guess that's why there's a task force with the NYPD trying to track Reese down at this point. But yeah. So we introduce a new storyline here. And I'm going to keep calling him Goodwin because I keep forgetting his character name in this story. But Finch's partner from years ago, the face of the company that created the machine, had a son. And he and Finch were close enough that his son calls Finch uncle. And Finch bails him out, even though he's a doctor. Anyway, they're close. And son is back in the picture, and he's going to start digging through Dad's files. We're probably going to understand how Goodwin died. Does Finch know what's in all those banker boxes, all those evidence boxes? How directly is Finch connected to Goodwin's death? We know Goodwin was flagged as a threat at the end of last episode. So, Goodwin, Finch's number one rule is nobody can know about the machine. Obviously, Reese knows about it, but even though we're letting other people into the secret, even though, we've got Fusco and Carter and others aware of what's going on, we're not telling anyone about the machine itself. And I do wonder whether Finch has eliminated the other people that know about it. What kind of threat did the deputy director of the NSA turn into? Did he end up dying? And did Goodwin become such a threat that he had to be eliminated? And I can't imagine that Finch would do it personally, but would he hire somebody to do it? Or maybe he was good. Who knows? But I like that there's, if not distrust between Finch, well, it is distrust. They aren't yet fully open, Finch and Reese, with each other. They still have their secrets. And maybe it's distrust, maybe it's just privacy or security, but the less people that know, the better about some of these things that we're dealing with. And yeah, man, every episode I feel like we're fueling the stuff that isn't the procedural. We have a procedural person of the week that we have a small mystery to solve. There's an arrest at the end, or a death, or a prevention of a death, or you know what I mean. We have our standard fare, but it's all the other stuff that's going on that I'm like really intrigued by it. I don't see where it's going yet. I want to learn more. And if this is the season that I'm supposed to struggle through, as you guys put it, you're all encouraging, make sure I get through season 1. Make sure I give it a chance into season 2 and beyond. Don't give up. I'm already excited, so I'm not giving this one up. I'm more excited for the future. This is very much the boat that I was in with Fringe and with The Expanse, other shows that took a little bit to get going. But they still started off really strong, but they turned into something even more so, and that's why I'm psyched to see where this goes. Long seasons, lots of episodes to get through. We're still months away from jumping into season 2, but that's cool. I can wait. I'm patient. Keep giving me good stories in the meantime, and I'm here for the ride. So, yeah, I'm psyched for next week where we get to do another one of these. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help the channel. All those fun algorithm things. And, even just say hi in the comments, and it helps more than you may know. But until next time, everybody, take care, stay healthy. We'll see you soon. Cheers.